What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Threesome Show with Bridget and Don. I hope everybody is doing well and taking care of themselves. I'm trying to, but I don't know how well it's going to work out for me. Um, I drink too much. Um, Tonight we got of course, got a good show for y'all. We always got a good damn show for y'all. So tonight we're going to start off talking about Diabetes Awareness Month. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and for all of my African American people out there, diabetes is a real thing for us. It hits our neighborhoods real hard. So I know Bridget knows a lot about health, so I'm gonna lean on her
Yeah,
for this one.
yeah.
What are some things that people can do to avoid diabetes? Well, avoid it as best they possibly can.
With diabetes, really just like I think one of the biggest things that I'm specifically talking about like type 2 diabetes. Um, a lot of people don't realize like eating like white bread, white rice,
Hmm.
white potatoes, stuff like that is actually like just as bad as eating sugar because all that stuff like spikes your blood sugar levels. So I think people should be more cautious about eating, basically white carbs. It's not just about sugar. I feel like you should watch your sugar, you should watch your sodium intake, but also, I would say avoid white carbs. Like some people think like brown rice tastes different from white rice. I feel like brown rice tastes the same. Um, yeah, that's really, you know, I was like, that's the watch your alcohol consumption, because that's something. Also, your weight, people, Don, but also like your weight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not like people do what you want, but at least like have some type of physical activity. Like take a walk a day at least. Do move your body. Um, I feel like sometimes people don't realize how much like because we're so used to having like for example like if you grew up drinking Kool-Aid and you put in like two big old cups full of sugar in there and it's like you don't realize you're so used to consuming so much sugar that when you start, you know, consuming less of it, it's like stuff start tasting nasty. But I feel like if
Yeah,
you cut back on sugar, salt, and stuff like that, eventually you'll get used to it. Your body will adjust, and then eventually, like when you have something sweet, you be like, all right, this is too sweet. I think we just so used to it, and that's like what you were saying. Another thing is like diabetes. They be saying it running people family, but it's just because we pass down similar, eating habits.
definitely.
Um, So yeah, I was actually pre-diabetic. I'm not pre-diabetic anymore, but type 2 diabetes can actually be reversed with a plant-based lifestyle. And actually
Oh,
little as
really?
2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. So if you ever do become diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, all you gotta do really is change your diet and work out and you can reverse it in little as in 2 weeks. Most doctors won't tell you that. They'll just automatically be like, all right, now you got to get on medication, and eventually they might put you on insulin. But a lot of doctors won't even tell you that if you just change your diet, it can be reversed, and it's a fact. So,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Just, I mean, I didn't. Well, I definitely didn't know it in as little as 2 weeks, but I didn't
yeah.
know that it was so easily to be reversed just by reversing your diet, like changing your diet, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because
Is you Go ahead,
because
sorry.
like I got high blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
and high cholesterol. Go fucking figure. Um, but before I started taking the pills, because the cholesterol pills cause a lot of aches and pains, so I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to take it. But
Yeah.
I did. What I did was, in the morning I juiced. I juiced for the in the morning and for lunch, and then I ate a regular dinner, and it totally changed my cholesterol.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I knew that worked for me, but now that I know same thing can be done with diabetes. So hopefully
Yeah.
everybody who watches the show just check your sugar often,
Yeah.
because it'll creep up on you and you won't even know that it's happening until it's too late.
Right.
So check your sugar often.
And I think sometimes when people, even when people is told like you're a pre-diabetic, like a pre-diabetic is like right before you become a diabetic. And I feel like to me, that's the biggest warning of, all right, let me get my shit together. A lot of
Hmm.
people I feel like don't take diabetes seriously, but it's like your foot or your leg can become amputated. You can go into a diabetic coma and you could actually die
Yeah.
from diabetes. So I feel like it is something that's serious that I feel like some people just, they take it real lightly. Um, but it's actually very serious. So, and I feel like with today's society, like the food and stuff, I feel like a lot more kids is becoming pre-diabetic and being diagnosed with diabetes. So I feel like it's a big thing that we need to watch. But we just, I get it. Everybody is busy and stuff, but we also gotta watch like what we feeding the kids too.
Yeah. So some people, and people may not know this, um, and I normally don't shout out any company on the show, but there's a company called Livongo, Livongo,
Mm-hmm.
um, and some people qualify for free things from them. And one of the
Okay.
free things you can qualify for is a glucometer. So I'll tell everybody go online, go to livongo.com, see if you qualify. Even if you don't qualify, it's fine. It didn't hurt you to try.
Yeah.
But they'll send you like a Bluetooth scale. They'll send you a glucometer, and what else? Oh, they sent me a blood pressure machine.
Okay.
So, and they were all free, and they were all state of the art, like good stuff, and they all of them uh, connect to my phone. So every time I check, it
Mm-hmm.
sends my the results to my phone, so I can keep a track of it.
Okay. Yeah.
So everybody check out livongo.com, and also just go online and check out free services that are available out there, because it, I'm all for free. First of all, if
Mm-hmm.
anybody's willing to give me anything, I'll go ahead and take it
Yeah.
for free. But it, like I said, I have a good friend of mine, or I had a good friend of mine. She passed away, but she was only like 30 when she passed away, and
Yeah.
she thought she was on. She knew she had diabetes. She thought she was on top of it, but it was only one day she slipped, and
Mm-hmm.
her sugar shot up too high, and she fell into a coma, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, and if you don't know that you have it, you don't know the symptoms, because people who have it already, like they already been diagnosed, they know what the symptoms feel like. But if
Mm-hmm.
you don't know what the symptoms feel like.
Yeah.
Um, so when it happens, you're oblivious. You just think, "Oh, I'm sick, or I'm tired, or I'm not feeling," and you go lay down. But lo and behold, your sugar's gotten too high, and you may not wake back up. So
Right.
everybody, check your sugar often. Even if you don't get a free one, they're not that expensive. If you go to Walgreens, Walmart, and pick up a glucometer and just have it around the house.
Yeah.
Um, so that's our public service message for this month. Definitely keep on top of your health. A lot of us are dying, and we don't even know that we're unhealthy until it's too late. So
Yeah. And it's stuff that it's like we can prevent.
yeah, so take care of your body, and I tell you what, I'm a drink one less drink per week. That's my thing.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna keep
judging you, Dawn.
drinking.
It's just, I had to let the people know it's out. Cause I think that was my problem too, even when I was like when they told me I was pre-diabetic, because it's like I'm a vegan. So I mean I don't eat a lot of carbs. So
Yeah.
she was like, my old doctor just automatically assumed that I was eating like, cake and stuff. I'm like, I don't eat cake because cake got eggs in it. Like. And she was like, stop drinking soda. I'm like, I literally do not drink soda. So I was like confused to where like, what is making me pre-diabetic? Because I eat vegetables and salads every day. But I think mine was contribute to my weight, me being overweight and alcohol. Because I feel like I was drinking alcohol very heavy then.
And it's not really what people don't realize. It's not really the alcohol; it's the chase.
Yeah.
Alcohol has no carbs. Alcohol has zero carbs.
Yeah, but if you
But
drinking like mixed drinks, that's what I was
yeah,
doing.
if you're
Yeah.
drinking a lot of mixed drinks, that chase that sugar and that chase. And alcohol does have sugar.
Yeah.
So because that's how they ferment alcohol. So it already has sugar. You're adding sugar to it,
Yeah.
and you're consuming more of it because it's sweet, and it doesn't have that bitter liquor taste. So you're just consuming them back to back.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's drink one less drink per week, or a week, a month. Let's put it down. Um, but now we're gonna talk about and this is probably gonna take us all the way through. We're gonna talk about the main topic of the show tonight. I have discovered, just in things that I've seen, but also reading up on things,
Mhm.
America is fearful of women's success, and I don't get it. I think if a woman is succeeding, that means she has children that are going to succeed. But America hates it. Like they
Mhm.
like to keep their foot on the neck of women for some reason, and I
Mhm.
don't get it. And I wish, if you're not live in the comments, if you watch the show later on, if you got any type of ideas to why, like, let us know because I don't get it. Like, I think a woman succeeding is a good thing, especially
Yeah.
my woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to grow together. Um, but I know, like, you're a business owner now, so you probably deal with a little bit less of the issue of America trying to keep you
So
hold you down.
so before I became, that's actually a huge part of the reason why I became an entrepreneur, because I actually have dealt with that a lot in the work field. Men, they'll try to use their power over you. Um, I think it has a lot to do with, some men, their ego is so big, they don't want to feel like a woman has any type of dominance over them. Like, how can she tell me what to do? Because it's that ego. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Of like, no, she can't tell me what to do. Like, I have to tell her what to do. So I feel like even with certain jobs, because I talk to a lot of people, but it's like women can be so educated. She could be the best one in the room, in the whole building, at her job. And sometimes, whether it's your supervisor, your manager, whoever, they don't want to see you climb up the ladder because they see your potential and they know it will surpass them.
right.
And that's what they don't want. Um, I think the only type of men that like don't have an issue with women being successful is men who actually respect women. Men that were raised well, they have a good relationship with their mother, their sisters. So men who were brought up like that, um, they respect women. They respect women that get out here and hustle and try to make moves for themselves. They're not intimidated by it. They allow women to, operate in their greatness. But you have some insecure men, I guess, grown boys, whatever, that is intimidated by it.
And I really I don't get it because I've had women bosses.
Mhm.
I've had men bosses. I actually prefer a woman boss because women are more analytical. Like they look at the whole situation. Yeah, women do lead by emotion. I'm not gonna hold y'all on that. They do. However, women will analyze an entire situation 3 or 4 times before making a decision. A man will
Mhm.
make a snap decision.
Yeah.
A man will see something is going wrong, and the first thought that comes to his head is the one he's going to go with. But a woman is going to analyze that and think about it over and over again. And unfortunately, women second guess themselves this way. But because they second guess themselves, when they finally make a decision,
Mhm.
it's usually one that's good to go with.
Yeah.
So, I I just I'm probably say it over and over again. I just don't understand. Um, but we gonna
You got
dig
men
it.
that had this mentality that women is only supposed to be in the kitchen and be at home raising
Yeah,
children.
nah, hell no, no,
You
hell
know what I'm
no.
saying? But also, these are the same men that is like, if women didn't have anything to offer, you're still talking shit about women. Because it's like, I think it's not even the fact like we're not good enough if we want to be a stay-at-home wives. We're not good enough if we're highly successful. We're just not good enough in the eyes of you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like these type of men just do not respect women at all. Um, I don't know. I feel like I said, like men will, and I feel like men once when they see a woman that's very intelligent and they see her potential, they want to humble women too, like that too. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so it's like any way they can humble you, like, oh, you're not getting this raise, you're not getting this position, no matter how qualified you are. Like I'm putting another man here, you can't do our job. But I just look at it like a woman can bring a man into this world. She can nurture you, take care of you, feed you, clothe you, teach you all types of things, but she's not good enough to be successful and run something. That's crazy. Like, a lot of people in this world, like, and I'm not saying because you got some people that didn't grow up with their mother, but you got a lot of single mothers out here where people were only raised by their mother. They seen their mother make a way out of no way. And that to me should show the power that women have, even when you have nobody, you still want to make sure shit get done. You know, um, I don't know.
And of course we're gonna have to take it further because there is a section of women that get beat up on just a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
than women in general.
Yeah.
Of course, Caucasian women, white women, they have their struggles, but black women, black women get it from white men and black men. Now, especially
Yep.
once you get into like your different cultures, like your Indian cultures and your Arabic cultures. Of course, because they feel like a woman should be subservient. Like speak when you spoken to Chinese, the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Speak when you
Yeah.
spoken to, um, but for some reason, black women they get beat up on in such a way that even when they try to express themselves, the first thing somebody says is she's an angry black woman.
Right.
Like she
And
can't even
and I
express
think
herself.
Yeah. And I think that's because, you got to also think in all these different cultures and even with Caucasian women, not saying some of them women, they work and stuff like that, but like some of them have partners, they have people that help them. Where I feel like a lot of black women had to do it all on their own. And like I said, we had to learn to just be strong. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like if we don't have a man defending us, it's like you have to be extremely dominant and defend you, your children, everything around you. So
Mm-hmm.
even when it comes to the workplace, you get into the workplace and you feel like, okay, somebody disrespecting you, that's where it's like, we're gonna speak our mind. We're gonna tell it how it is because whether they think so or not, people we have just been left to just be strong, and that's all we have. That's all we can do. So it's like, what we supposed to shut that off when we get somewhere and we feel like someone's treating us unfair, or you want to pay this white woman more than me, but I'm doing more than her. You know, and I feel like that's one thing with us is like we're not told to hold our tongue and we're not going to. You know what I'm saying? Because we had to fight our way for everything. And
Mm-hmm.
if anything, we're more qualified than half these people out here. They just, like I said, they want to humble us. Like, no, you should be grateful that you even got this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But that stuff that they do to us, they will sit there and pay us less than everyone. I have personally experienced that. That's exactly why I became an entrepreneur. You know, literally how I left my last job was just that. Y'all didn't want to pay me because I was the only black woman in the office, you know, and they tried to they like, "Oh, she don't want to be grateful." You know what I'm saying? So, it's a real thing. I don't know. But I feel like if we had to learn to just be strong because we can't depend on nobody else, it's like we're not gonna shut that off for nobody, you know. And you know where I feel like I'm not saying white women won't speak their mind and they won't tell people how it is, but you know, a lot of times y'all have family that y'all can depend on. Y'all have a spouse at home. Not saying black people don't, yes, but it's just like y'all never had to operate out of the strength how black women had to operate. You know, y'all can cut that off sometimes when y'all get home and just be a woman. You know, black women have to be sometimes the man and the woman at all times, you know, so we just have
Yeah.
this strength that we just, you know, we have to show. And it might seem like we the angry black woman, but it's like we're not. We were never taught to let people just run all over us, you know. And seen that before online where people was like, black women aren't raised to be wives, we're raised to be independent. And that's a fact. Like, because it's like me, I wasn't really raised where my mother had a man around. She taught me to be extremely independent, you know. And I feel like that's why we are, you know, a lot of us are the way we are. You know, we're not taught to depend on anybody because some of us know we might not be able to depend on anybody, you know. So it's like if we don't stand up for ourselves, who's going to stand up for us?
I
And
think
at that label us the angry black woman, it is what it is. Honestly, I think the best thing that any black woman can do, and especially in a workforce, is never take no shit from nobody. I don't give a fuck who it is, how much you like your job, how much you getting paid. It's never worth the disrespect, you know.
yeah.
Um, and I say like go look for better, go look where you're respected, you know. And that's another thing when it comes to like the workforce, do your reviews, look at reviews at companies, you know what I'm saying, are do they
Yeah.
treat women and black women fair? Because when you go look at a review at a company, it's not just customers that's buying from them, it's also employees that work there too. And I feel like that's very important because you can't stay somewhere where they refuse to see your value. How will you ever grow? What's the point of being there, you know?
Yeah, and equity and inclusion does not stop with it being a black or white thing.
Yeah.
Equity and inclusion is also, are women being paid fairly across the board?
Yeah.
Because if a company is going to going to hold down a woman for making what they're supposed to, they're going to hold down, I'll say, the black men or the minorities in the company the same way, just a little bit less.
Yeah.
Equity and inclusion, like when you find a company that speaks about equity and inclusion, there's nothing wrong with asking them, is that extended to women as well?
Right.
Um, because our race, unfortunately, when we hear equity and inclusion, we're like, oh, they like us, you know, we cool in the company. But no, is that being extended to women in general?
Yeah.
Um, because yeah, okay, so they might say, okay, we got to hire at least so many black people,
Right.
you know, to show that we're being inclusive. But just because they hire you doesn't mean that they're giving you what you deserve.
Yeah, they might keep you at the same place. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like that's another thing. Like I don't know. I feel like everyone people look for jobs, they look for jobs, and like me when I was working, I would only work for a job that would give me an increase off of my performance because I know that I'm outworking everybody. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if I know like I'm busting my ass in here and I'm doing more than all these people in this room, why should my increase be the same as this guy who don't do shit? You know?
Right.
Um, but yeah, I feel like it's important that it's like you know wherever you're at, you're able to grow. It's like you're not just there to just say, hey, we made our quota of having this amount of, you know, colored people here. Like you actually are able to climb up the ladder, not just with your title, but also with your pay. you know, because they play with us that way. It'd be
Oh,
crazy.
they'll lateral promotion your ass to fucking death.
That's why I left my
They'll
last job. I promise you. They was like,
they
"Oh,
will
it's a
lateral
lateral move."
promotion your ass to death.
Yep.
You will get a lateral,
Yep.
and you'll be like, "Oh, I got a better position, but your pay is still the same."
Exactly. That's exact. I promise you. That's why I became a full blown entrepreneur. That was the reason. Like it was like God told me in my ear, it's time. You know, because I
Mm.
was doing hair on the side, but it was like the company I was working for. Like I had a internal interview, and we had 2 interviews, and we discussed my increase. Oh yeah, it's an increase. Da da da. When it came down to it, oh, it's just gonna be a lateral move. You know, I even did my research. Like, you know, I asked one person that used to be in my position and moved to the position I was trying to go to. And he's, mind you, he's a Caucasian white guy. And he was around the same age. We were both young. We were the youngest ones there. But I asked him, like, did you get an increase when you moved from this position to that position? He like, yeah. And he even told me how much. I said, yeah, no, they're playing with me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately that's why I left, you know. And honestly, they thought I was being ungrateful. They actually tried to, because I refused to take the position as a lateral move, they tried to lay me off, you know. And then it was like, well, we highly encourage you to come and apply for other positions in the company. So they thought like them laying me off and then basically gonna force me into this position, just to have the title without y'all paying me what I should get paid. And
Exactly.
by y'all laying me off, y'all took my position away. So they're like, oh yeah, either be unemployed or take the position and be grateful, you know. And I'm like, no, this is my pride. This is the last time that ultimately, I'm sorry to say this, a white man is gonna hold my job over my head. Like I'm like, I never wanted to give no one that power over me again, you know. Um, and I feel like that's stuff that women in general, I feel like a lot of women experience that. Definitely Black women, you know. But I'm not gonna say other women don't experience that because women definitely experience that, you know, in general.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um. So once again, damn, I'm just giving everybody fucking shine on this. Before you apply for a position at any company, before you apply for a company, Glassdoor.com will tell you exactly what that position should pay in your region. It'll give you the high and the median. Um, if you're getting less than that, it's okay with saying no to a job
Yeah.
or taking a job just long enough until you can get the job, even in the same position that's going to pay you what you deserve.
Yeah.
Um, Black women across the board have now. Will I say black women have come up? Yes, absolutely, definitely come up. Black women are making a lot more than they were in the past, of course. And that's because they've taken the time to get educated. You know, they've went
Yeah.
to school, they've gotten the degrees, so you can only hold somebody down but so far, unless you're gonna stay there with them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta
Yeah.
let them up, but they're still not making what they deserve to be making.
Right.
Um, I know women who work at the company I work for who have a master's degree, and I'm like, why are you doing the same position that I'm doing? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
why are you not? Because they feel like I've arrived. Like this is it. This is what they're gonna give me. This is it. Now the good thing about my company is the person who's the head of at least our region is a black woman.
Okay.
But what I've also noticed is that she has the title. She may even have the pay. She ain't got the power.
Mm-hmm.
There is somebody still basically controlling what she does. She
Yep.
can't really make any decisions.
Yeah.
So it's like, why not allow that person to do what their expertise has taught them to do?
Right.
And I'm sure if they took their foot off her back, she could make the company go in a totally different direction. But because they want to give her the title, nah, they give her some money.
Yeah.
But as far as making any real world decisions, they prevent it.
Yeah.
Um, so I tell everybody like take a moment when you're applying for a job or even when you're in a position. research what that position should be paying.
Right.
And if they're not paying you what you should be paid, find another job.
Yeah. I also like it was also a time where it's like I was in between jobs and I went for an interview and they weren't trying to give me what I asked for in pay. They was honestly trying to give me less than my last job. And that's one thing my mom always taught me, like don't ever go backwards in your pay. Go up.
Yeah.
And so they was actually trying to make me, like lowball me. And I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry. And honestly, I didn't have a job. I was in desperate need at the time. I started doing Lyft. But I refused to take that job because I'm like, no, like regardless of how desperate I was for a job, I'm like, I'm not about to go backwards in my pay. And then it's like I'm supposed to be going forward, and this is not what I want, So another thing I feel like, don't take a job. I don't care how desperate you are for a job, because another thing is like when you first get a job, even within your 90 days, you can't really take off. You know what I'm saying? So you get into
Right.
this job, they're not paying you what you want to pay. They like you don't like nothing about it, and it's like you really have no time to take off to go on interviews and keep looking for jobs. So I always say don't take something unless it's something that you really, really want. I don't care if you have to do DoorDash, Lyft, go do Amazon Flex. I don't care what you got to do until you find what suits you, because you don't want to get stuck in something, and it takes you longer to find something that you really want. And also if someone don't see your worth right off the bat, because when they call you in for an interview, they see your qualifications. They know what you can and cannot do. That's why they call your old jobs for references and stuff. If they can't see your worth right off the bat, imagine when it's time to get your performance review and they discuss your increase and they be like, oh, we just gonna give you 5 cents. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to go where people see your value right off the rip, you know?
Um, so one thing about black women that I don't think that black women truly realize, and I know I'm speaking from an outsider, so take that for what it's worth. When black women don't realize that they really control the purse in America.
Yeah.
Black women are the shoppers. Yeah, yeah. Other women, other races, yeah, they buy stuff, but black women, the black culture is built on buying outside your means. That's what the hell we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we got uh, shoes on our feet as if we make $1 million a year, but we making 50,000.
Right.
Like, but black women, um, they really do. If black women was to stop purchasing tomorrow, the world would definitely be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Um, so I know that I probably know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
Hmm.
Um, I know a lot of black women have become the black product women. Like they shop black, they buy black. Like the people who you buy your products from, I'm
Hmm.
sure they're black. Like I'm sure you
Yes.
use a lot of black products.
Yeah.
Um, just that alone, just do if everybody was to just do that alone. First of all, we would see the black race start to come up.
Exactly.
But then you're empowering somebody else to say, I have to deal with less because I know where my money's coming from, and I know my money's going to be consistently coming in.
Hmm.
I wish somebody would really, and if my money was right, if my money was long like that, I wish a black person would come up with an Amazon type company because
Right.
um, Amazon is making billions of dollars off of us.
Right.
Now, one thing that I did see that was good, Amazon did donate to Kamala's uh, candidacy when she was running. They did donate, and you have companies like Target who you know stock their shelves with black products all the time.
Hmm.
but those are the companies that we should be going to.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like, even that, like what you talking about now, it's like, and you notice like a lot of the companies that, donated to Trump, these are the same companies that, they basically support mass incarceration. Like
Mm-hmm.
Walmart is a huge company, that, our prisoners make a lot of their products, and get little to nothing, So
Yep.
it's like some of us should have been knew not to be supporting some of these companies.
Home
But
Depot, another one.
exactly. I've always been very, very big on supporting black owned businesses. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes when it comes to certain things, it's like you have no choice. Like I've tried to do it when it comes to doctors too. But in my experience with that, um, I don't feel like my doctors had my best interest. So I had to find doctors of different races that I felt like, okay, they
Mm-hmm.
had my best interest, and that's no shade to, I just didn't find one for me. But when it comes to anything else, I feel like that's how we're going to win. It's like a Black Wall Street thing. Like, we got to keep putting money in each other's pockets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We
that's why I'm
do.
big on, I support who support me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of my clients, like if you have a clothing line, I'm buying your clothing line. Like, my one client, she's an esthetician, she's my wax girl, I do her hair. It's like literally every month or two we put money back into each other's pockets. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
right.
I'm big on that. Like, I feel like I'm gonna go to a black owned restaurant if I can. I'm gonna buy black owned like soap and anything that I possibly can. I'm just big on it because I don't know. I want us to win. I feel like that's where we fuck up in our community is not supporting each other. And I feel like if we support each other, we can be bigger than we think we can be. One thing that I feel like the black community needs more, what irritates my soul is these hair stores. I can't stand, sorry to say, these Asians, because some of them are racist. They don't like black women at all, but 90% of the things in your store is sold to black women. But you want to racially profile us every time we
A
walk in the
hundred
fucking
percent.
store.
A hundred
it
percent of the
it,
shit in
it,
their
it
stores.
irritates my soul. Where I feel like, we definitely need more of that. Because it's like, the hair industry in the black community is everything. Everybody want their hair done,
A billion-dollar fucking industry.
right. So I feel like if we buying products, it should be out of like, one of our, buy from one of our own people. But it's like I've seen so much racial profiling throughout my life that I'm so fed up of it. And honestly, I'm grateful that it's like I do own like a hair business, so now it's like I can go to the actual supplier, and get what I
Yeah.
need from them and not support some of these people because I'm like, hell no. I'm really sick and tired of it, honestly. But yeah, it's disgusting how people will use us for our money, because we're the number one consumer, but it's like y'all treat us like shit. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Like if I go into a place and they're following me around the store, I'm not buying shit.
Yeah.
I'm not buying a damn thing. As a matter of fact, if I go into a store and I understand why, but it doesn't matter to me why.
Right.
If I go into like for example a Walgreens in the hood and they got everything fucking locked up, I'm not buying shit out of there. If you
Yeah.
can't trust me to pick up some shit from the damn shelf and walk it up to the counter, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's crazy, even with me, I feel like because I feel like I've experienced like so much racial profiling, and this is ever since I was like in my early 20s. I used to like say if me and my sister go to a hair store, I'm like, oh, let's not bring our purses inside so they don't think we stealing. But it's like,
Yeah.
why should I not?
Why
Why
you
should I
gotta
be
do that?
conditioned to think that I'm not allowed to bring my purse? The whole reason why you, as a woman, you have a purse to bring your wallet and stuff because I don't want them to think that I'm stealing. And then you know how you said like if you feel like they following around, you'll leave. My whole mentality is, well, let me buy something so they don't think I'm stealing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now as a grown ass woman, you follow me around, now I'm definitely not buying shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie, I look recently I called I wrote a report to the Department of Justice. Like y'all racially profiling. At this point, y'all getting fucking reported. Cause that's the type of time I'm so sick of it, you know? And especially how much I experience it now, and I'm a business owner, I'm a hairstylist. So it's like hairstylists give y'all the most business. And then y'all have
Mm-hmm.
the nerve to disrespect me, like, and act like y'all got to go shopping with me and I'm not allowed to look for stuff myself. Like, nah, y'all not about to keep getting our money and treating us like that, you know? So, yeah, I'm at that point where it's like, yeah, I refuse. I do not care. And like I said, if I have to, I'll go online, you know, I'll go out my way. I will go completely out my way. Like, you know, like where I work at now, it's a hair store right across. They're not getting no more of my business. I don't care if I got to drive 20 minutes away to another hair place, you know. I can't do it no more.
And a lot of and so we will definitely open up. We'll start our own barbershops and hair salons. We'll do that, which is good because ain't nobody gonna do our hair or cut our hair the way
Right.
we know how to do it. So that's a good thing. But I want women. I want individuals, black individuals, women, men, whatever. Open up your own hair store. It's not impossible. Um, a lot of us don't realize that it's not as hard to start your own business as we think it is.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
because we think it's so hard, we don't try.
Right.
I remember when I used to have a jewelry company. So, of course, we was always taught you go to the Small Business Administration and they're supposed to help you out, help you get off the ground. And I remember walked in there and I was like, I'm just really looking for guidance, like because I didn't understand like the whole taxes thing, and how you supposed to pay your taxes when you have
Yeah.
a business because it's different. It's not
Right.
your personal taxes; it's your business taxes. It's different, especially when you're a retailer.
Right.
So I go to the Small Business Administration, and they're like, "Oh, in order for you to start your own business, you should have enough money in your bank account to sustain your current standard of living for the next 6 months." And I was like, "So you saying I should be rich in order to?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nah, I don't need no money from y'all. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need money from y'all." As a matter of fact, the company I was starting had no overhead because
Okay.
people
Yeah.
paid me before I placed the order, so I got the
Okay.
money in advance. And they were like, "Well, no, that's not going to work for you." And I'm like, "So you're telling me in advance that I can't open a business because I'm not doing things the way you want me to do it?"
Right.
And I was like, "I'm good. I'm fresh." And
Yeah.
I still started the business, did it out the front of my house, no overhead. I didn't pay rent anywhere. Um, but we can do the same thing when it comes to hair supplies.
Yeah.
So once you get a business license, you can buy all the supplies you want.
Yeah.
Now, people
And
may not be able to walk through your store and buy
mhm.
stuff, but they can still order stuff through you.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think just like you said, I feel like a lot of people, the thing that stops them from starting a business is just fear because you just don't know. You know, I feel like we got all of these social media platforms, especially TikTok. I think TikTok is a great platform that is like if you go on there, it will tell you everything that you have to do. Honestly, I feel like I think that's why it took me so long to get my LLC because I was just scared because I'm like I don't know. And then like once I did it and like I learned everything, I'm like I could have been did this. It was not that deep. Like I was so scared really of nothing. And you know, I have clients that it's like they might have a side hustle and like you know they talk about wanting to start their own business. And I that's one of the things I'll tell them like just go do it because like you're waiting around
Mm-hmm.
for nothing because it's really not as bad as you think, you know. And like you said, if you don't really have no overhead, and even if you still have like a regular like W-2 job, like honestly, it's good when it comes to your taxes and stuff too to have that and you know LLC. So I think the biggest thing is like stop being scared and just go do it. You know, And if you know people, you got some people that it's like, before I got my LLC, I feel like I reached out to a few people and I kind of was like asking for advice. And, I don't feel like I got everything that I don't feel that way. But like me, I'm the type of person that, like, if I'm doing your hair and you talking about you want to start your business, if you ever have any more questions, text me. It don't gotta be about hair, because I want us to win. And I know how it feels to be fearful of like starting this and not really having any type of guidance. So I'm all for trying to like help people.
So one of our biggest fears that we don't realize is a fear. We think, oh, I'm a fail, I'm a fail. No, a lot of us have a fear of success.
Yeah,
Um, because once we succeed, we have no, we don't have anything to complain about at that point.
yeah,
Like we can't say, oh, I'm succeeding, so somebody's holding me down. No, you're actually moving forward now.
yeah.
Now you gotta do that responsibly.
Mhm.
Um, Another thing that we do, and I don't know why. And if somebody can tell me in the comments or later on, please tell me why. Why do we overprice our stuff? Now, granted, if your stuff is as good as if you're selling clothing that's as good as Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger, by all means, price it at their level. But we will overprice things,
Yeah,
mostly because we're with the understanding that black people will only buy things that are expensive. If it doesn't cost nothing, black people won't buy it. Um, a good friend of mine that I grew up with, that I'm sure everybody on this damn platform knows, Stephon Marbury. So me and Stephon Marbury, we were cool. Went to same junior high school, same high school. He was a few years behind me. When he created his shoe line, he wanted to make sure that his shoes were priced so that the kids in the hood can afford it. They don't have to go out and sell
yeah,
drugs in order to afford it. But how often do you see somebody walking around with a pair of Starberries on?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
we have to get out of the impression that more expensive means better, because it
yeah,
doesn't.
yeah.
It really doesn't.
I think when it comes to like pricing, um, it's a lot of different things that play a factor in like what whether people think so or not. Like even now, like the economy is bad, where like a lot of us business owners, like especially if you're a service provider, we put a lot of money into our business. It's like a lot of stuff that people don't see. Like we had to buy cleaning products, we had to buy
Mm-hmm.
products, shampoo, conditioner, and if depending on what type of service provider you are, you spending a lot of money on these products, and they're jacking the prices up for us. So we're like, hold up, all right, now we gotta pay more for all of these products. Like I need to be charging more, but it's also like you got to look at who your audience is, who's buying from you, and also the fact that the economy is good. Like I know I'm paying more for some of my products, but I know that the economy isn't good. I know that like and it also depends like do people need what you're providing? You know what I'm saying? Everything isn't something that people absolutely need. Like if we talking about like eyelashes, you don't have to go get your eyelashes done. You know what I'm
Nobody
saying?
needs
So if,
eyelashes.
if it come down to it and somebody is struggling, that's just something they're gonna be like, eventually I'ma just go without. I'ma thug it out because I can't afford it right now. So I think like a big thing is like I get it, like even with the economy being bad, I told myself like even though I'm paying more money when it comes to certain things, I don't want to jack my prices up right now because I know that my audience, my consumers, they cannot really afford to pay more than this right now. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But I know that, and people be like, well, that's not fair. You know what I'm saying? But they can afford what I'm doing right now, and that keeping the money flowing, and the money is still coming, like and it's still coming
Right.
really good. So sometimes you gotta look at that, and then it's like maybe if the economy is better eventually, and people are actually getting paid, what I'm saying, good money or whatever, and everything is good, then it'd be a different story. But I feel like people have, and not just that, but like you said, like some people don't even have good quality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will
Yeah.
get into something, and it don't matter what it is. People can get in something today, and you trying to charge with somebody who been doing this for 15, 20 years charging, and you don't have the quality, you know?
Right.
So it got to make sense. You know, I feel like the biggest thing with your price is like, are you providing, if you're a service provider, are you providing a good service? Do you have good customer service? Are you understanding? Are you good at what you do? Good quality, use good products, whatever the case may be. And also look at the economy. Like, is your target audience, are they able to afford this type? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you just got people in the middle to lower class as your audience, who's your consumers, who they buying from you, they're not going to be able to pay certain prices. You know what I'm saying? Like, now if you had like some, if all your clients was some lawyers, doctors, you know, stuff like that, all right, that would be understandable, you know, but it got to make sense, you know.
So when I had my jewelry business, so one of the things that I sold when I had my jewelry business was gold teeth. It was
Okay.
popular in the hood. You know what I'm saying? That shit was
Yeah.
popping in the hood. I was getting it at a decent price. I didn't have to overprice it to anybody. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I'm gonna make money no matter what. Like it's not like I'm actually buying the gold and making it. I'm sending it off to somebody else to make the gold. They send it back to me and I give it to the customer.
Yeah.
And I would have dudes, if my shit was late coming in, I would take a little bit off their price. Let me give you some money back. And they
Mhm.
would be like, because I come from a customer service background, I know I'm
Right.
not gonna treat you any differently in my own business than I treat the customer for the company I work for.
Right.
So if you were expecting it on Friday and it didn't come in on Monday, I'm gonna take a little bit off. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna give you some
Right.
money back.
Yeah.
Um, but we have to, if we want our people to patronize our services, we have to treat them the same way we would if we were a large company. Now, yeah, you can't give nobody 50% off because that's cutting into your profit margin, and at the end of the day, you still got to keep that business running.
Right.
But at the same time, you can still treat people with respect. You can still
Right.
treat people with courtesy. You can still be like, you know what? I know it was here supposed to be here today. It's not here today. Your next order, I'll give you 10% off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 10% is not going to kill you. It's not
Right.
cutting too far into your profit margin.
Right.
But now you've just told that person you value their business.
Mhm. Yeah.
I would love to see a Black Wall Street type of complex start to build up in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I would love to see that shit
Yeah.
because 90% of the money that's flowing through this city is black money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
don't own a mall. We okay, like I'm not telling anybody y'all can go out tomorrow and get a mall. You can't. However, you can get a storefront. And if your friend gets a storefront and your other friend gets a storefront, now y'all got a whole damn walk up mall. Y'all may
Mhm.
not have, you know what I'm saying, y'all may not have a run the, you know what I'm saying, a run the mills or whatever, but
Right.
now y'all got 6 different stores that people can come to and get. Okay, so I know if I go get I'm gonna get my hair done at this spot. Then I'm gonna go down here. You know what I'm saying? I can get my sneakers for the weekend.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what we have to do is we have to start with that first one, and you can sew up an entire damn mall line, or outdoor mall or whatever, with all black stores in no time.
Right.
So that not everybody's going to Towson to get shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They know. Okay, so my man right here, he got the shoes. Um, right here, the barbershop right here. I could drop my lady off over here to get her hair done while I go into the barbershop, and when we're done, we can go and get our sneakers or whatever. But you have a whole line. We
Right.
can do it. Like it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Um, we keep listening to what society tells us is possible and impossible, and that's why we're not making the moves.
Yeah. And they also want us to be each other's enemy. You know,
Yeah.
they want us to go against each other, black men, black women, so that we're not this strong unit, you know, so that because they, just like I said in the workplace, it's like if they see a strong black woman coming in, they see your potential, they're going to do everything so that you don't reach that potential. And that's what they do to us in our community. They try to put us against each other. You know, not just black women, black men, but black men against black men. You feel like every black man you walking past, that's your enemy. Like, no, like this is your brother. You feel me? And we will be a lot stronger together than if we sitting here, you know, going against each other. You know, it's very much possible. But I think we need to stop looking at each other like competition and, you know, look more at each other like, you know, teammates.
Exactly. Like if if somebody opens up a hair store, first of all, I challenge any woman that listens to this broadcast to at least start doing the homework to see what it would take for you to open up a hair store, a beauty supply store, excuse me, beauty
Yes.
supply store. Um, Start there because every woman who listens to this podcast, Angie, Nicole, I'm talking about the ones that always come through.
Yeah.
Angie, Nicole, Ray, y'all have the knowledge and know how to do it.
Mhm.
You just gotta take a leap of faith and step out on it and say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I had a
Yeah.
barbershop in Hampton, Virginia. Um, I've never owned a barbershop, and yeah, there was some rude awakenings of things that I didn't realize that was needed. But the spot was relatively inexpensive. He was only charging me $500 a month for the storefront.
Oh damn, that's nice.
You know what I'm saying? Cheap as fuck.
Mhm. Yeah.
The dude next door to me opened up a club. So he had a club, he had a restaurant and a club. So during the day, when he got his restaurant, his customers is my customers.
Right.
The lady down the block from me, she had a beauty supply store. I mean, not she had a salon,
Okay.
and she owned the storefront next door to that, and she did animals here, like if you want to have your pet groomed. So
Okay.
she's literally has two storefronts, and she's making money on both of them.
Yeah.
The only thing in that whole line that wasn't black was this one Arab dude, and he had a storefront that he sold nothing out of. But because it was only $500 a month to rent out the storefront, this nigga was living there. Like
Yeah.
he turned that shit into his fucking apartment.
Yeah.
Like where the fuck are you gonna find an apartment for $500 a
Right.
month? So, but people would come and we would shift business to one another. So if somebody
Yeah.
was waiting to get their hair cut, hey yo, you know, next door they got food, you know what I'm saying? Like they got burgers, they got fries, they got chicken wings, you know what I'm saying? They got good
Yeah.
food. So while you waiting, you might want to go ahead and check them out.
Yeah.
If a dude was there with his lady, I would tell him, yo, you know the lady down the block, you know what I'm saying? Right a couple of stores down, she does hair or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
whenever you want to get your hair done, you know what I'm saying, check her out, you know what I'm saying? She's good people, she does good business.
Right.
If we do that shit, oh my, like the shit we could take over. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Um, my wife, well, she lives by Tabs. Damn, I'm putting everybody on tonight. She lives by Tabs products. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Tabitha Brown.
yes, to the point where I'm using her shit now. You know what I'm saying? I have her lotion, a shampoo. You know what I'm saying? Her conditioner. It's
Mhm.
expensive, yes, it's more
Yeah.
expensive, but it's also vegan, so I can understand why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she's making sure that the ingredients in it is all natural ingredients.
Yeah.
Um, so I can understand why it's more expensive. But I'll be damned if I ain't gonna buy her shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's good. Um, I watched the video where this one dude was trying to downplay the fact that she put her stuff in Target, and I'm like, Yeah, but if Target's really
Target
showing her
always support
love,
black people though.
always,
Like you,
always.
Black History Month, they be like they've even taken like black students' artworks and printed them on T-shirts for Black History Month, and part of the profit goes to them, the actual
Yes.
artists. They always have books for young black girls. I feel like they've been showing us for the past years that they care about us, you know. So I can completely understand why Tabitha Brown has her products in Target, because even though it's like some people like, well, Target is expensive, but they always show love to black people though. You know what I'm saying? We can't say the same about Walmart. They take our shit and the owners don't even fucking like us, you know?
At
Um,
all.
so it's like, you know, and it's like, what black person don't be at Walmart, you know? Like, I don't know. I'm a big Target supporter because I feel like they always support us, you know? So I don't think it's nothing wrong with her stuff being there.
So I'm gonna help our people out real quick. Something that our people don't know about Walmart. First of all, Walmart has sacrificed so many jobs with their business framework. So Walmart goes directly to the factory to purchase their stuff. They don't. So I'm gonna give everybody a real quick lesson in retail. So you have the factory who makes it. Then you have the wholesaler will buy it from the factory. Then you have something called the jobber, and the jobber will go to the wholesaler, and they'll then go to the retailer and get it to the retailer, right? Walmart cut out the jobber, cut out the wholesaler, and they go straight to the factory. So they pay so much less for that stuff.
Yeah.
And all they do is they subtract 1 cent from the price, and they say that they got a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're thinking we're getting a great deal from at Walmart, we're really not, because they could price it a whole lot less.
Yeah.
The reason that Target charges more is because they're not cutting out any jobs. So they're still working with the job, they're still working with the wholesaler to go to the factory. And they do that so that everybody has their fair share and they're not cutting out jobs in the process of their business framework.
Yeah.
Yes, Target is more expensive. Um, but I encourage everybody within the sound of my voice who listens to the show, or tell some friends if you listen to the show, shop at Target before you shop at Walmart. Because
Mm-hmm.
Walmart does not put any money into the hood at all.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, Walmart would prefer to not even serve you in their stores.
Yep.
So, yes, Target's more expensive. Spend a little bit more money and go to Target.
Yeah. You get a different
Lowe's
crowd
is
there
more
too.
expensive. There is a different crowd, and it might get you to change how the hell you are just a little bit. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Target is not Walmart where at 3 o'clock in the morning somebody's walking in with flip flops on and a bonnet. So maybe you might act a little differently if you start hanging around people who act a little differently.
Yeah.
Same thing with Lowe's and Home Depot. Do not shop at Home Depot. Lowe's is just a little bit more expensive, but it's also black owned. You know what I'm saying? So if you got to
Yep.
get something for your house, light bulbs, anything, go to Lowe's, because Lowe's puts money back into the hood. Lowe's puts money into education for black people.
Yeah.
So until we realize the power of our dollar, we're gonna keep this same cycle. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep doing the same thing. Now, of course, a business like yourself, you're pretty much good on that, because black person can't go to a white person and be like, "Yeah, I need you to do this and this to my hair and get it done right."
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's so many other black businesses that need our dollar, and we're spending it in the wrong place.
Right.
Um, so spend your money wisely. The next 4 years is gonna be a struggle.
And I always say this too. I always been saying this for years. I feel like you are your best investment. Like, don't
Mm-hmm.
ever be scared to invest into yourself. Like, because it's like you invest into yourself, you invest into your own business and stuff like that. All you're gonna do is keep gaining from it. It'd be crazy because we will invest our time, our health, our soul into other people's businesses, and they will give us their ass to kiss. They don't give a shit if you die tomorrow. They looking for a new person. Don't ever feel like you can't invest into yourself. That's one of the best things you can do for yourself.
Like and if you have a family member and your family member got a business, stop looking for the fucking hookup. Like, stop it.
Right.
If you spend full price at Macy's and your homegirl got a little boutique and she's just trying to live, stop going and be like, yo, you're gonna give me a hookup, right? You're gonna give me a little bit off of that, because
Right.
Macy's isn't,
Yeah.
Dillard's isn't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever you would pay full price elsewhere, pay full price with your people.
Yep.
Because what you may find is, okay, so your friend might not be able to give you a hookup, but she might be able to tell you how to start your own business yourself,
Yep.
because now she's already doing it.
Yeah.
Creating an LLC is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful damn thing. Um, because you can create an LLC, and like you said earlier, you can write off things that helps you with your personal taxes now.
Yep.
So and but we need to have those classes. We need to teach people. Um,
Mhm.
I have a good friend, a really good friend of mine, and his business. He has an online business, and they sell like toilet paper and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
Natural products like natural toothpaste without and deodorants without alkalines in it. Like he has the business. This dude went to Jamaica, and while he was on his trip to Jamaica, he gave somebody a roll of toilet paper, wrote the whole damn trip off because it was now a business expense. The
Mhm.
whole trip, he treated the whole trip about improving his business and wrote the whole damn thing off. And he took his whole family to Jamaica,
Yeah.
wrote it off.
Yep.
So LLC is not a bad thing, people. It's not a curse word. LLC will save you. And there's white people who use that shit every damn day,
Mhm.
every day. There are white people who, and don't get me wrong, this is not a beat up on white people show, but if you haven't noticed, both of us are black, so we're gonna talk about some black stuff.
Right.
Um, White people will take everything and put it in their business name.
Yep.
If they, for some reason, they can't pay the bills anymore, they will bankrupt that business and start all over again, and the shit never hurt their credit.
Yep. Exactly.
Never hurt their cars in their business name, their homes in their business name, because
Yep.
if they do work out the home, now they get the right of a portion of their home for the business.
Yep.
Yo, we can do it. We just gotta. We gonna. I don't know when. We are
Yeah.
going to do a show where we are going to show people exactly how opening your own business, whether you open a storefront, do it out your home, can actually benefit you.
Right.
And it's not such a leap of faith when you know the loopholes in advance.
Right.
So anyway, that's our time, people. We love y'all. I knew that this topic was gonna flow, but
Yeah.
we gonna do some more on this topic. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna, because I've owned, operated, and sold businesses. As a matter of fact, I sold the same business twice in the same week. So I sold the business to one person, created another LLC, taught somebody else how to do the same thing, and sold it to them. So I'm gonna pull up a whole damn black and white board or a dry
Yeah.
erase board. And I'm gonna show y'all exactly how we can get money together, and we ain't gotta keep spending our money where they don't even love us at.
Exactly.
But until then, it's Bridget and Don, the threesome show. Yeah, we ain't always just talking about sex and relationships. We got some other shit we
No.
talk to y'all about too. But
Yeah.
anyway, next week, Wednesday, tune in. Let's talk about some more shit. We love y'all. Be easy, folks.